All right. My name is Mitch. I am a fine art printer. If you're new here, now you know. If you're not new, you will notice everything is a little bit different, and that's because I moved. We made the right decision because look at this. I was talking with some friends earlier today. They're like, oh, how's LA? And I was like, well, how's New York? And they're like, well, it's snowing. So I don't feel that bad because here it's currently a perfect 71 degrees. I think I'll get used to this. But if I'm being honest, I didn't really feel that way until very, very recently. In fact, this move was one of the most stressful things I've done in a while. And that's because of that thing. I'm pointing at my printer. As I'm sure you know, moving is always stressful. I found out this time that it's especially stressful when you're like lugging around an expensive piece of equipment that accounts for your income. In the past, I'd move expensive things like my cameras, but those you can just stick in a bag. You can't put something the size of a horse into a bag. And so I had to hire a moving company. And while I was bidding out different moving companies, I found one that said, hey, don't worry, Mitch. We're going to put it inside of a wooden crate. It's going to be so secure that the crate's going to be nice and tight right around the printer and nothing's going to move. And so I felt good, chose them to be the movers, and we went on with packing until the day of the move came. And the actual people moving were super nice. I don't want to throw them under the bus. I'm not going to show anybody here or mention the company. But long story short, there was no crate when they showed up, and there were no materials to make a crate. And we were kind of on a tight deadline because we were going to do the holidays with my family, and we had to get out to Utah like on time. And I just said, screw it. Just wrap it up in cardboard and take it. And ooh, that was a bad decision. Because you see the way that this printer works, when you prepare it for transport, you have to like go in and it dumps the excess ink. And then it locks down the print head. The print head is the piece that goes like across the paper and drops all the ink onto the paper. That part gets locked into place. But there's still all of these belts and lots of little pieces inside the printer. And basically, if the printer gets tilted one way too much in any of the three axes, it's screwed. Like pieces are going to break. And so they literally wrote in marker all over the boxes that are wrapped around the printer, like, do not tilt past 30 degrees. Do not. Oh, man. I should have just pushed for that box. So fast forward to us driving across the country, and I'm just nervous the whole time. We finally arrived in California and settled into our new apartment and anxiously awaited the movers. So the day of the move comes, they arrive, and one by one, they're like bringing boxes up into the house, and the couch gets here, and the TV gets here, and the bed is here, and everything, until everything is unloaded from the truck, except for one thing, and that is, of course, the printer. My heart rate like starts increasing, and my breath is short, and the movers are complaining about this printer. It's too big. How are we supposed to carry this? Which, by the way, when it first came, my friend Errol helped me carry this thing into the shop in Brooklyn. So shout out to Errol for being a beast.
I'm losing my grip strength here.
Nice job.
Good job. Thank you, Errol.
But there were three movers, and they were, they're like, oh, we can't move this thing. So I had to go out and I helped them. And at this point, I'm just going to show you what we actually had to do to get the printer into this place. Okay, so let me tell you the story about this printer. So we had to get up these steps right here. Now, that doesn't seem that crazy until you realize how much the printer weighs. So we had to lift the printer up and over this ledge and then around just so we could get in the store. So we got inside and I thought, all right, everything's good now. We'll just push down this hallway until we got right here. I'm gonna show you something, but you have to promise not to tell my landlord. Let me preface this by saying I'm going to fix this. In order to get the printer through this doorway, I had to not only take off this door, but I also had to take off these little molding pieces on the side. And then, finally, with those pieces removed, so now the printer is in. Not just in the apartment, but in this room. Have you ever had something that you had to do, but you're dreading it so much you just kind of avoid it and do everything else? That was me. Like, I was unpacking the rest of the house. I painted the entire apartment. You know, went to IKEA several times. Not as much as Val. She's a trooper and like pretty much single-handedly set up the whole apartment. But I would do what I could because I was avoiding that. Eventually, I had to face the music. I had to face the printer. And so I turned it on. It worked. It actually worked. Okay, so far so good. Now I had to load the ink, so I did that. Two for two, fingers crossed. Then I had to print a nozzle check, and this was going to be the real moment. Like, is it all messed up or does it actually work? It worked. And at this point, I'm pretty thrilled, but I have to print like an actual picture just to double check. So I did. I printed a picture of my old neighborhood, Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Yes! It worked! I cannot tell you how much of a relief that was. Ooh, wow. I still can't believe it actually worked. The message you should take away from this is that I got lucky that the printer still worked, and if you ever move something expensive, you should move it correctly, because I lost even more hair than I already had lost on that drive. And it would have just been better anyways. Like, I'm lucky that this thing survived. So, to celebrate, I was thinking, not really to celebrate, I was going to do this anyway, but we're going to say it's a celebration now. I'm going to start printing every week. I'm going to print photos from people who watch the videos. So if you want me to print one of your pictures, send your, I should think about how to do this. So again, what I'm going to do is I want to do a video series, and maybe every week, and maybe every other week. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how long this takes. But the idea is that I will print one of your pictures. So if you want me to maybe use your picture to print in a video and then send it to you, and we're not talking like a little picture like this, too small. It'll probably be like 17 by 24 or something, you know, like something maybe not that big. a little smaller than this, but about this big. Here's what you got to do. Follow Nice Art Prints on Instagram. I'll leave a link below in the description, and I'll have all of these details in the description too. Follow Nice Art Prints, and then send me a message inside of Instagram with the picture that you would like me to print. And each week or every other week, however often I do this, I will pick somebody's image to print. Anyways, I think that's exciting. I'm excited to make prints with you. And related to that, I am planning to devote a lot more time and energy to video in 2020, specifically YouTube. And here is why. Last year, I set up the print shop, Nice Art Prints, at the beginning of the year. I had printed before, but never under my own banner as my own shop. And I learned last year that my favorite kind of printing, my favorite thing to do as a printer was to collaborate directly with an artist and work through the details of like specific details, like working through the file and making a test print and maybe making another test print until everything is just lined up perfectly. I love the craft of printing. The problem is that isn't the most profitable or economical way to run a printing business. If you're going to make a profitable printing business, really your one objective is get that thing, the printer, to be operating 24/7. And if I'm working with artists, that's time that the printer is not working. And I could solve that by maybe automating more or hiring somebody, but I want to continue as a one-man shop. And frankly, there's a lot of great printers that just do automated services, but that's not what I want to offer. I want to offer like a one-on-one boutique experience. So my hope is that I can supplement the print shop income with some YouTube income. It'll take time. I'm not trying to get rich or anything, but I'm trying to build a life where I can really help other people and other artists fulfill their vision, and this seems like a good route. So if you like these videos, please subscribe and like. That stuff really helps to promote a channel and get things rolling. And for me personally, please keep commenting. I've really enjoyed the comments in the comments section. Wow. Because like we talked, I answered somebody the other day about printer types and like what printers connect to a network, and I don't know, that stuff's fun. And papers and inks, and there's a reason why I do this. Yeah, anyways, that's it. I'm excited for 2020. I hope you all are too. And yeah, I'll see you around. I'm going to get back to printing.